Yeah,
Oh,
just go for it.
no, you do the intro.
I do the intro? Okay.
Yeah, you've been nominated.
I've apparently been nominated. So this is the Hooligans podcast. This is going to be terrible, but bear with us. We're two kids who like politics
For some reason.
for some reason. I think I know
Um,
the reason. It's all due to Tom Kirkman.
Childhood trauma. Oh, yeah.
Both.
Yeah, Tom Kirkman.
Honestly, Tom Kirkman and childhood trauma are directly correlated, so I get it.
Why does
Well,
someone call him Thomas Kirkman? Like, when you're the president, they're supposed to call you the first, like, your full name. Everyone calls him Tom. No one calls him Thomas.
yeah, but nobody's going to call Joe Biden Joseph Biden.
Well, they could call him Joseph. Like, okay, they're only gonna call him Mr. President or Joseph. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
God, it just sounds so cool to call somebody Mr. President
You're right, it does. I would definitely rather be called Mr. President than by my full name.
all the time. It
Like, if
would
I'm
be
president,
awesome.
I don't want someone to call me Grayling and shoot them in the foot and
Yeah.
literally have them publicly executed.
What did you just call me?
Who do you think you are, bro?
Exactly. So we wrote down talking points just so we don't forget what we're doing. A lot's happened this week
A lot
with
has happened.
politics. I
Actually,
mean,
the past couple weeks, actually.
yeah, I don't know when the whole Capitol Hill, what day was that?
6th.
The 6th? Okay, so this month
Yeah.
has been pretty fucking crazy. Sorry for cursing. I don't know. Should we curse?
How dare
Doesn't
you?
matter.
It don't matter.
But yeah, a lot's coming out of today. I mean, Biden just got inaugurated, and I thought it went fantastic.
I expect him to get assassinated.
The whole time in the back of my head, I was really
Literally.
scared.
Like, I was watching at school, and I was
Yeah,
like, this man could just be shot right now. Like, that would be really bad,
it
but
would
it's a
be terrible.
possibility.
It's totally a possibility.
That would be horrible. Oh my god.
After researching all that stuff about JFK's assassination and then the show that we're watching, I'm always curious on what different measures they take now to like
Oh,
safeguard the
after
president.
after JFK got assassinated, I'm sure it's way higher.
You think so? I mean, it's got to be because they messed up big
Well, they messed
time.
up big time. Like, that was totally an internal flaw.
Yeah,
Like, didn't they just not check that building?
I believe that's what
Forever?
happened. Yeah, they just totally disregarded the building that had like
Yeah,
a direct line of sight towards
direct
them.
line of sight, and they're just like, that's fine. No one's gonna be there.
Yeah,
Like, why wouldn't they? It's a perfect spot.
exactly. So thank God the president's safe. Joseph
Yes,
Robert
Justin.
Biden.
Robert, dude. What a garbage middle name.
Trump is out. I mean, oh, I should probably preface this. When we talk about politics, we don't know a lot.
Yeah.
We would
We do
like
not
to learn.
We do not have a political science degree.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're 17 and 16 years old.
Mhm.
We basically just know what we research and what's popular, and we just have our views, and yeah, that's it. We don't know a lot.
Exactly. And sorry, somebody's trying to open my door. Our viewpoints are like how should I put this? I'd say rather than picking a side, the truth is more important to both of us. So whenever we tell you something, it will be the truth that we know. If it's not the actual truth
Yeah.
at the time, we'll make sure to fix that error later. But instead of
Yeah.
picking a side, red or blue, like Biden said,
Yeah.
we'll tell you what happened, and then we'll give you our opinion on what we
Uh,
think of the situation.
My thing is, I try not to get my information from CNN or Fox because both of them are extremely biased. You really can't trust either of them to give you the straight facts.
Yeah.
So I prefer to either go to a different source, and if it seems biased, I'll just keep searching until I find one that seems as unbiased as possible.
Or what I like to do sometimes is simply watching both CNN and Fox to see
True.
what each side is
That actually isn't
talking
bad.
about, because there's gotta be truth in there somewhere. You just
It's crazy because
Gotta find
if
it.
you watch CNN, the headline was Trump's chaotic presidency is over, and then like the headline for Fox was Joe or something like Joe Biden's like crazy presidency starts or something like that.
Was it
Like they both
really?
just I don't know Fox's
Jeez.
headline, but I do know that that was what CNN's headline was. I'm just making up the Fox one because it seems
Yeah.
like something they do.
It is just crazy to me how media has become so blatantly biased. Like, I think they
Yeah,
know that everybody knows that they lean towards a specific side, and they're just okay with it now.
oh, 100%. Like it's so obvious. I think Fox even like they're called like the biggest they like their slogan is like the biggest Republican news network.
Gosh, that is crazy. To me, media, at least in terms of politics, should always be like journalism, but
Yeah,
it has definitely not been that for a very long time.
no, not at all.
Ever
That's
since,
funny because I looked up Fox slogan and it says new Fox News slogan appears to be a jab at Trump. That was November 2020. Why would they why would they put a jab at Trump in 2020? And this slogan was standing up for what's right.
yep, that's a jab. Golly. It is just crazy to hear because when I was watching a little bit of CNN today, they were talking about the domestic terrorism group MAGA, is I believe what they said. And it's just, it's weird that a so called domestic terrorist group is called Make America Great Again. Like,
Yeah, that's
you
the thing.
know?
I don't know. They're not denounced as a domestic terrorist group yet, are they?
No, which is bizarre why CNN had the balls to say that.
I don't know, right? But that's like uh that's like Fox calling Black Lives Matter a terrorist group,
Yeah. Like you can
which
say it
it's
about
not.
Antifa
Yeah,
because they
definitely you
were
can call Antifa a
classified.
terrorist group, but like
Hmm.
Black Lives Matter is not really a terrorist group.
Exactly.
I don't think they've been classified as one. Neither has MAGA. So the fact that they just use those very big words to describe the other side is interesting. They
Truly
clearly
is.
are so biased, and no one cares anymore.
Yeah. I mean, this is totally biased right now because I'm saying this, but I'm very excited for Biden's
Yeah,
presidency. I think what I was thinking about this earlier is for a long time under Trump's presidency, we have been in this chaotic state as a nation. And Biden's speech really was about unity and sort of returning to the state of normalcy,
I agree. Yeah,
which is what I hope comes out of this.
I definitely agree with that there.
Yeah.
I definitely think the important things he said in the speech was definitely about the unity, about how politics doesn't have to be like a raging war, or whatever the line was. I don't remember exactly, but it
Mm,
was something along that. Something about how like it doesn't have to be red versus blue, uh, conservative versus liberal. I think that's what he said. Like that was really important to me that he said that in the speech, because
yeah.
politics ever since I mean in my from what I've seen since we're young, mainly remember Trump's presidency, a little bit of Obama's, not as much. I wasn't interested back when Obama was president,
Me too.
but it just seems like during Trump's presidency, it was so Democrat versus Republican. That was it. Nothing else. Nothing else mattered. Like it
Yeah,
didn't matter. No bipartisanship at all. It was just we're going against each other. We cannot be united.
I really agree. It felt like, for whatever reason, to put it in simple terms, it felt like a Call of Duty match. Just the entire time. It
What's the
was
game mode where it's like 50 versus 50?
just team deathmatch or something. I don't
Uh-huh.
know. It's ground war and it's
Yeah,
crazy.
ground war.
Yeah. Because when I think of democracy, it should never be like that. It should be
Mm-hmm.
varying opinions working towards a common goal that
Oh,
would better the nation.
better than nation. Yeah, that's
And
what it's supposed to be.
yeah, and it just seems under Trump's presidency, the nation has been so divided under so many issues. It's like
Mm-hmm.
people used to say gun control is a polarized issue. Of course it is, but I feel everything is a polarized issue.
Yeah.
There are so
Yeah.
many things. The fact that COVID is one of those issues,
Oh my god, yeah, that made me so angry.
It's
Because when
crazy.
COVID first started, I was like, hey, maybe this can actually like unite everybody. That we can actually get together behind one goal of getting this horrible virus out of our country. That was
Mm-hmm.
like a week into COVID, and then a week later, it was obviously people were using COVID towards their political agenda, and that just really made me angry. Because 400,000 people have died now,
Yeah.
all
It's
because pretty much like the fact that you used it to push your political agenda. I feel like that contributed. You should feel a bit responsible.
mm-hmm. I would say that without a doubt the president contributed to the overall loss of life because of COVID. Just because he didn't close down the borders in time and he didn't take the correct steps necessary like all these other countries did. And
Oh, I should also preface, we say we're going to deliver the facts, but then give our opinions on them. Because, this is still two people discussing things, so our opinions are obviously going to shine through. But we also just want to tell you the straight up facts on top of that.
yes, even though
So political commentary and facts.
try to be both.
Yeah.
Exactly. Even though we probably have more opinions than we do facts.
That's the
Uh,
thing, though. Everybody does.
yeah, it's
There's
because
more opinions in a day than facts that come out.
the issue is, I think we're so passionate about all of these topics now, for whatever
Hmm.
reason, this has birthed in us like this
Yeah,
natural born passion. And so I don't know, it's easy to get heated about stuff you care about, and
definitely.
it's hard to look at it from a neutral standpoint, no matter who it is, you know?
Hmm. But the thing is, that makes it, we're allowed to do that because we're not journalists.
So we're not journalists, and this is probably going on YouTube.
True.
So hopefully we get better over time, though.
I'm sure we will.
Hope
This
is,
is, do you want
yeah,
to call this episode 0 or episode 1?
let's go with 0. What do you think?
I agree. This is kind of us just getting our footing, so
Exactly.
nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I mean, what else are we talking about? But yeah, again, back with the whole COVID thing. His speech, he talked briefly about COVID, and actually he talked quite extensively on
One thing
COVID.
I
I
liked,
thought he brought
actually,
it back a couple times.
let me bring this up, is that he had a moment of silence for everyone who's died from COVID. I like that.
That was really cool. Yeah. You said he was Catholic, right? The first,
Yeah, he's Catholic. Second Catholic
second.
president.
That's pretty interesting. I mean,
A lot happened at his inauguration,
there was a lot. The
but that's every inauguration.
I wanted to
Which,
mention the if you don't mind, the poem recited by Amanda Gourmand, I believe is her name, was fantastic. No hate
he looked
on
pretty
Biden, but if he
good.
would have said that, he he would have won over everybody. It was so well written. I felt like
Did
I
you
was
write the
listening
poem?
to.
Or did she write it?
Did she write it? I believe
Yeah.
so.
Okay. I didn't know if she was just reciting it.
Yeah, she did a great job. Also, I think I was talking to Gray a little bit about this earlier, that in terms of speeches that I've heard, that was probably Biden's best speech.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as compared to all of Trump's speeches, I haven't heard them all. Of course, I haven't. But from all the ones that I have heard, Biden beats out all of those with
I still
the
need to
speech
watch
he just
Trump's
gave.
farewell speech.
It was decent.
It was?
It, yeah, I've heard a lot of media saying it was just enough, but a little too late. You know,
I
like
heard I did I remember I heard one quote. It was like that he wished he didn't name Joe Biden, but he said like, I wish the next president to be blessed with success or something like that.
yeah, I think he said that, and he
He
wished
never
them
said
good
Joe
luck.
Biden's name, but he did wish them good luck and hope they have success.
It's bizarre how he has totally separated himself from this next
Mm.
presidency. He didn't show up today, and have you heard anything about he wants a like military show of force for when he leaves?
No.
that sounds bad. I don't mean like they're
I know
going
he
to
went to the. I
beat
know
the
he went to the
crowd.
military base. Like he went to go visit the military base
Yeah.
this morning.
I believe they said he wanted a military show of whatever for his
I think he just wanted
leaving.
like a military like
Send off?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what he did actually. I think he got a military send off.
Really?
Yeah. I heard that the only reason Mike Pence didn't go to is because the logistics of trying to go to the inauguration and Trump's thing, and he chose to go to the inauguration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they
But
seem
who
to be
knows
on
how
the
true that is?
rocks.
I heard they had a meeting like a couple days ago, but I don't know if that repaired their relationship or not.
Mm-hmm. I know he was not too happy with him
Yeah.
after the whole Capitol Hill thing, but then again, the entire world wasn't too happy with Trump.
No.
So,
No one's too happy with Trump after that.
yeah. I thought when Biden addressed foreign nations in his speech and how he's like, we, we have been through a time of great challenge and now we are ready to re enter these policies,
Mm-hmm.
foreign alliances.
Well, the only one that Trump left was the Paris Agreement, wasn't it?
Paris
The
Accord?
climate. Yeah.
I believe so.
I know he, for some reason, I really don't understand this. He wanted to leave NATO, which is just a bad idea. I don't really get that.
Yeah. I mean, I understand being an isolationist, but you kind of need to have some form of
Mm-hmm.
alliance. And to leave NATO is just,
I
I
don't
don't know
believe
what
in
the outcome would
isolationism.
be. You don't?
No, I think that the world needs to work together to improve.
Yeah, I can see that in an ideal world, but I
But
think there's a spot in history where you need to be an isolationist, like, and then there's times when you don't need to be. For right
yeah,
now, as an example, where we
I
definitely
think
don't need to be.
I think NATO is is a big reason why no one's really gone to war with anybody in a long time.
Yeah,
Everyone's too scared to go to war with someone in NATO because then they got the whole world against them, pretty much.
exactly. That's the strength about the alliance is, and it's also it's only a weakness when there's like two big separate parties who are allied. You know,
Mm,
it's kind of what happened with
which
World War II.
World War II, yeah. Which there hasn't. Is there even another big alliance like that or like NATO?
I don't believe so. I
I know
can't
there's.
think of any.
I know there's a what is it called? EU.
Brexit?
What is there? What is it? What, no, Brexit is.
No, Brexit's something else. What am I
Yeah,
thinking of?
you know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not too sure. We'll have to look that up. See, we don't
I
know
can look
facts
up
on
right now.
episode 0.
Yeah. Well,
We only know
there's
them on
actually just
episode
the
1.
straight up. There's actually the straight up European alliance, which is just a political group of people.
Oh, nice.
The European Union, EU. Yeah.
Yeah. Dang, we should have known that.
You really should have. Like, I even said it, but I just don't know what it
Yeah.
stood for.
Man, it alliances are very interesting though. I think they
Yeah.
can either be fantastic or bad. And the whole Paris Accord thing, I somewhat understand. I don't think it was a terrible move. I think either way, it doesn't affect us as
Yeah, you were telling me
greatly
about
as
that.
people would like to think. Yeah. Just because it was all about climate control and Trump wasn't saying he didn't care about climate control. Obviously, he
Mm-hmm.
was rather saying instead of letting foreign nations dictate what we do with our carbon emissions and whatnot, why not just have America govern
Yeah.
ourselves?
Yeah, you did tell me about that.
Which
Which is
that's
not a bad
totally,
idea.
yeah. It's different than an alliance where it's like a military alliance. You know?
I think if you pulled out and then put in actually good climate control ideas, then that would have worked out.
Yeah,
But I don't
I
remember
agree.
him doing that.
And I think regardless, Biden's probably going to try to join back
Mm.
as soon as
He said
possible.
he wants to do that day one. Yeah.
Day one. Yeah. So a lot of work for nothing. But
Might have already done it.
yeah, we're already in. I don't know. His
I know,
first
like right
100
now is
days are going to be very
I know,
interesting.
like right now is he did like a couple of executive orders today.
Really
Yeah, I think he already put in the mask mandate at federal buildings.
nice. That's great. I'm really excited to see what he does with COVID
Okay,
because
so here it says, this website I'm reading says, on his first day in office, Biden will sign an executive order mandating mask wearing on federal property and during interstate travel. Wait, what?
interstate travel.
Huh?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
I don't know. That sounds really stupid.
In the
Oh,
cars at all
I
times.
forgot Trump withdrew us from the World Health Organization because he got angry at them.
He did.
Yeah,
Wow.
we definitely need to get back into that as soon as possible.
I think that's an undeniable. We should be in there.
I can't believe he just got mad at them because he didn't agree with their policies and so he left.
Yeah.
He said,
Any and all respect I had for President Trump was gone after the whole leaving the WHO and that whole situation
I
unraveled.
still had some respect for him after that, but it was a Capitol building that made me lose all respect for him.
Yeah,
And then I was
definitely.
just like, I can't support this guy at all anymore.
hmm Just because I remember seeing this article and it cited every time he downplayed the virus and not warning the American people, and it was
He
like
says he did
11
that to stop a
times.
panic, but
But at what cost? It's
there's
like,
stopping a panic and then there's not informing the American people.
and I think it was the lack of information that ultimately led to more deaths,
Yeah, I
which
definitely
is
see your point there.
crazy to think about that he is, I don't know if you'd say directly, I guess he's indirectly the cause
I
of,
would say indirectly. Like he didn't create COVID.
exactly, yeah, he's indirectly the cause of death, which is
Well, every president technically
every president.
think about
Yeah,
it like that,
you're right.
but not to the extent of coronavirus.
hmm I mean, each president has some event happen during their
To be
presidency,
fair, he's not a
and
war criminal like George W. Bush.
to be fair, but yeah, I mean, COVID definitely defined his presidency, I think.
Which is unfortunate because his presidency really wasn't as bad as people said it was up until 2020.
I agree.
And from what I saw,
hmm
like it just really was not as bad as people try to make it seem like up until 2020 started.
And I don't know the state of actual politics versus how the media represents politics
Mm-hmm.
because it's sort of that median. But I
Yeah,
didn't
I'm
hear
also become.
much of what all was going on before 2020.
Yeah, I think it was our lack of interest and uh, just
hmm
media not really showing as much.
Yeah. And now it's like you can't get away from politics whether or not you like it.
Yeah, I think it was. I know that Trump started the border wall. I think he got like 4,000 feet done or something. I'm gonna just look that up before I
He's
give any
built
kind of
most of it.
really.
Most of it is done, although it's not preventing.
It's getting defunded already. So
Yeah.
yeah, only 452 miles. 452 miles have been built.
How much is that? I think
Uh,
that's
the
most of
goal
it.
is 450 by the end of year
Yeah.
2020. Never mind.
Nice. The thing about that, the whole wall, is a
The
lot
thing
of
is,
it was reinforcing the wall that was already there.
I know that's all I would say. Thing is that this wall was just rebuilding the old one.
Yeah, like there was a wall. Some parts it was definitely lacking,
Yeah, it's replaced older broken
but
barriers. That's literally all it did.
yeah.
Was replacing the old one.
And now that I pay taxes, it just saddens me because it was such a waste. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think it nearly did its intended goal, and plus, its intended goal is just supporting a system that doesn't work. Like, if you're going to stop illegal immigrants from coming into our country, improve the system, make them
Mm-hmm.
legal instead
Because
of,
here's my opinion.
yeah.
I think immigrants should come in legally, but I don't know if a border wall is the correct answer.
Yeah.
I think this is directly from Designated Survivor, by how they had refugees coming in to put them on their path to be legal citizens.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a decent thing we already have in place right now. I think it could definitely be improved. I don't know how it can be improved because I'm not a politician, but I think it could be improved.
Exactly. I agree. I think the system is not as sound as it should be, but if it were, I think a lot of the immigration issues we have
Mm-hmm.
would just be fixed. The wall would not matter nearly as much.
No, not even close. And
And
another thing, I know that people memed on him for saying this, but he said that he wanted to do protect people from like drugs,
mhm,
people who like rape. Which the thing is that a very small percentage of people coming in from there are actually doing that. Yeah, I mean, he made it seem like it was like 90%, but it's really just not.
exactly. Yeah, I don't know the actual numbers on that,
There, like
but
I know that he did bring up like an actual drug ring that was sneaking into the U.S. because of there was no border wall.
mhm,
But I don't know if a new wall is really going to stop that.
I think the that whole view that he was pushing does more harm to the good Mexican population that wants to come over legally, and it paints a bad light on immigrants just in general,
Yeah,
which
definitely.
is not a good idea. It's
That's
crazy that Twitter suspended him for inciting violence, and it's like
hmm
he
yeah.
really is good at sparking stuff.
I think he's good at rallying people.
He's very good at rallying people. I mean,
He could use that for good, or he could use it for what he did use
exactly.
it for.
Hmm.
So Biden has already 2 hours ago. Biden ordered a pause on the border wall construction already,
Nice.
and he says he wants to reverse Trump immigration policies, but he said he wants guardrails first. Let me see what he actually meant by this.
You, that doesn't mean literal guardrails.
I don't
Right?
think so because
Okay.
it wasn't air quotes.
All
So we'll
right.
see. Skeptic's pledge.
We don't need a wall, but we do
So
need
he said he'll keep
guardrails.
his pledge to roll back the Trump administration's policies, but at a slower pace to avoid winding up with 2 million people on our border.
Hmm,
That's word for word what he said.
nice.
Um, boom.
So,
Biden. Oh,
my question, real quick, is how was the American Mexico border wall even passed? Because I don't know actually anything about that. Like, what's that process? Do you know?
let's see.
Because if that's just the president's decision, that feels like a very powerful call. I would think it had to go through Senate.
Yeah, I think it did.
It would
Hmm.
make sense if it did. I just don't remember the vote because I don't think I was too interested back then.
Yeah, same. I'm trying to figure out since it's like old news,
Yeah.
not a lot's on it.
Well,
Okay, this
except
one's from 2018.
word.
Trump seeks 25 billion for border wall, offers Dreamer citizenship.
$25 billion.
I remember he did do this. He made this Dreamer citizenship that like if you're coming to I think it was that he said Trump said he was optimistic he could come to an agreement with both Republicans and Democrats in the Congress that would appeal to hardliners seeking tougher rules for immigrants while also preventing the roughly 700,000 Dreamers from being deported.
Wow.
We're gonna solve the problem. But he said, tell them not to be concerned. We're going to solve the problem. It's up to the Democrats, but the Dreamers should not be concerned.
I wonder what the outcome was.
I'm trying to find out right now.
Yeah. I feel like we
Well,
would have heard
shut
if
up, Instagram. No one cares.
that many dreamers were deported. So dreamers are people who are trying to become U.S.
Yeah,
citizens.
people on the pathway to get
Okay.
citizenship. says President Trump's support for a pathway to citizenship will help us get strong border security measures as we work to modernize a broken immigration system. So Lindsey Graham said.
Hmm.
But Lindsey
That's
Graham
interesting.
changes his opinions on a dime.
He does. He's not too congruent with
I watched this
what he thinks.
compilation where at the start of Trump's presidency, he was calling him like a snake, xenophobic, all these things.
Hmm.
And then like 2 years later, he's playing golf with the president. He's doing all these
Yeah,
things.
I
He's saying like
think
President Trump's
that's
one of the greatest presidents we've ever seen.
yeah.
And now he's against President Trump.
He seems to just go with the masses.
And the thing is, he's been our senator for like 20 something years,
Hmm.
which is crazy that he gets reelected every time.
Is there a term limit on
Nope.
senators? There isn't.
Based on
That's
the term limit
interesting.
senators, which is crazy. I actually think that needs to change, in my opinion.
I do as well. That should not be a thing. We should elect new people with new ideas.
Mm-hmm.
It
Like,
could be like
I think
8 years.
Chuck Schumer too has been a senator for like 30 years.
Hmm.
I forgot what he's a senator for.
Oh, we forgot to mention the first woman vice president
Oh yeah,
today.
Kamala Harris, first woman vice
Kamala
president.
Harris.
Big deal.
That is, I
Pretty
mean,
big. I know
I'd say in
the
terms for everyone.
highest role like before her
Mm,
was Hillary Clinton. She was Secretary of Defense,
wow.
and then Kamala Harris, but she wasn't vice president.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, good
first
for
woman vice
Kamala.
president is pretty cool.
It's a big step. That is a big step to think that we're 46 presidents in and that has never even been close.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is pretty crazy. But when you think about it,
geez.
it's actually been pretty recently that the opinions on women voting has changed.
True. In like
And like
50 years.
yeah, which is crazy to me. Like, just the thought that women couldn't vote up
I
until the
know.
1960s is crazy to me.
Considering, I mean, we're young, we haven't seen much, but just even thinking back 50, 60 years ago, the state of America was completely different.
Oh yeah,
It is almost unrecognizable to today.
yeah, not even close.
I mean, the whole civil rights movement would just be, I mean, it's crazy because it could never happen today, first off.
Hmm.
I mean,
Well, there's just like
Black Lives
systemic
Matter.
yeah, Black Lives Matter. That's like the closest thing to a civil rights movement
Hmm.
today. Which they have rights, but it's just like racism that they're going against.
Yeah.
Not wanting. I guess yeah, not wanting rights. They have rights clearly.
Yeah.
They just want they just want racism to end.
And yeah, Biden actually mentioned that during his speech.
He did, yeah. I
Talked a
remember
little
that.
bit about Black Lives Matter. And golly, was that poem so good.
It was pretty good.
I was sitting on the couch with my mom and our dogs, and I saw her tear up.
Really?
Yeah. Because
My
the
dad,
entire time, it was just bars, to be honest.
I literally said, "Oh, like, man, this is bars."
Like, the flow was impeccable. It was amazing.
I was telling my dad about it. I told him because he wasn't watching. I was just telling him he sung stuff, and he
Uh-huh.
made fun of me. He said, "Did you cry?" I was like, "No."
Get close,
But I told him
personally.
Lady Gaga sung the national
Yep.
anthem, and he's like, "Did you cry?" I was like, "No."
That one really moved me. Lady Gaga.
Really?
Sung that. No.
Okay, I was like, seriously?
Really? Oh man. That was interesting. And who is the other person? J-Lo?
Garth. Oh yeah, Jennifer Lopez. She sung some stuff. I forgot. I didn't even listen to it. I
Mhm.
had the class. I
She
had
crushed it.
class. I know Garth Brooks sung.
Yeah.
What
Who
did
is
he
that
sing?
guy?
Oh, he sung Amazing Grace. He's a country singer. I don't know, but he sung Amazing Grace. He killed it, in my opinion. He did
His
pretty good.
when he stopped before the final verse and he said, "Everybody at home, I would like you to sing this."
Yeah.
I literally heard my entire house sing. I was in the bathroom. I heard both my sisters start to sing. Downstairs, I heard them singing, and I was like, well, I better sing. So I looked in
That's
the
actually
mirror,
pretty moving.
and I know,
That's
talking
actually
about unifying, I have never felt more unified in my own house
for real.
than today at
Especially
about
considering
12.
how crazy your family is with
Exactly.
politics.
Oh yeah,
Oh man,
my family is totally hit or miss. I mean, we're all different, and
it
it
is
is,
pretty funny, honestly.
yeah, it's like we're not a real family if you looked at it just from politics. We're just a bunch of strangers,
Yeah.
but it makes for interesting debates. That's for sure. Golly.
So, you want to talk about Designated Survivor?
Sure,
Started
let's wrap it
watching
up
that.
with Designated Survivor. It's a political show about if the
Political
entire
action show.
government, yeah, political action, if the entire government died besides the political, or sorry, the designated survivor.
He was the secretary of, what was it, urban planning or something like
Urban
that?
planning,
Like the
urban
lowest rung on the
development,
ladder. Urban
yeah,
development, the lowest rung on the ladder.
and then
Pretty
he
good show.
became president, like 10 minutes
Overnight.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the
Hmm.
whole story is about um his presidency and everything that's happening, and it really gives a good in look on how the presidency actually works and the different moving parts that
Hmm.
I was not aware of before.
Yeah, I hope it's structured after reality, because if it is, like,
Hmm.
I have a much better understanding of what goes on in the presidency.
Me too. Like before this, I didn't know that a political secretary existed.
Wait, really?
Nope, straight up. I don't know much about politics. And now if you
I
see
knew
my
there was.
profile picture, that's him from the show.
That's the press secretary, not political secretary. You said it wrong.
Press. Yeah, yeah,
Press
sorry.
secretary.
And it's just there's so many awesome positions and they're
Yeah,
all
the
vastly
presidential
important.
cabinet. Yeah,
Hmm.
presidential cabinet's crazy.
Yeah, the gang, man.
In the line of succession that the whole thing goes through, like, there's so many.
I know. It makes me wonder, like, if you were to pick off each one, it's just interesting to watch that trail. Like,
Mm-hmm.
who would be
I think it
next? Who
goes
would be next?
president, vice president, speaker of the house, secretary of state, and then goes down from there.
Hmm. Which is already, I feel like that's a long enough list, but I know
Yeah.
it's even longer.
So
Which
I
is,
think it's every new, like, secretary position that shows up is at the
hmm,
bottom of the ladder, which is why I think Homeland Security. If you're Secretary of Homeland Security, that's the bottom, because
okay.
that's the newest one that was created during George W. Bush for after 9/11.
Yeah. Wow. So there is a long list somewhere that we can look up.
Yeah, there is. I saw that. My history teacher showed it to us. I totally
Hmm.
forgot though.
We could talk about that next time, but
Yeah.
regardless, the show is amazing. The characters are awesome.
No, I
It's
would highly suggest watching it.
yeah, it's a bit unrealistic just because there's a whole conspiracy
Mm-hmm.
and oh my god, I'll cut that part out.
Why?
Spoilers.
Oh yeah.
But
But yeah, it's such a good show. You know, there's a lot of moving parts, and then there's like two storylines going on. You got the political storyline, and then you got the FBI storyline, you know,
hmm,
investigating what happened with the Capitol bombing.
yeah,
It's really good.
it also makes me very interested in the FBI and CIA and how
Yeah.
it all works, as well as the Secret Service, because one of the main
Mike.
characters, Mike,
You love Mike.
is awesome. He's the president's personal uh security guard, basically.
He's
And
great.
he's just so cool. I mean, I know the job is really hard to get and there's a lot of training, but
I'm
God,
sure
it'd be
you have to be in
awesome.
the military before.
Oh yeah, I think he was. I think he did CIA.
Yeah, you'd probably
Is
have
what
to
it
go
was.
like Marines, CIA,
Hmm.
become like the best officer or whatever it's called, agent in the CIA, and then you get to be assigned to the president's
I'm sure Mike
personnel.
has done it all. I
I'm
think.
sure. Doesn't he talk about that a little bit?
I think
Like
so.
he talks about like how much like how he learned about computers before being
Yeah.
assigned
Hmm.
as the president's bodyguard.
Yeah. He single-handedly actually solved world hunger. Believe it or not.
I wouldn't
Mike
believe it.
is
He's
awesome. God, we love this character
he's
who's not
great.
even real.
They destroyed poverty lines.
Yeah.
Everybody's rich.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be really bad. But yeah,
Uh,
show is amazing.
yeah. Should we end it there?
Yeah, should we wrap it up?
I think so.
All right. Thank you for anyone that listens to this. I'd be surprised if anyone does. But
Even one person.
yeah,
Thank you.
it was a
I
lot of fun, and I
mhm,
actually really enjoyed doing it. I hope that we will actually continue doing this and that it won't die in one episode.
me too.
So yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. Just I want to restate this one more time. By no means are we claiming that we're professionals in absolutely anything
Yeah.
besides gaming.
Yep.
And so don't take our word for face value. I recommend do your research.
Yeah, do your own
Learn,
research. Fact check us, please.
please.
I would love to be fact checked and proved that I am either correct or wrong. I don't care.
Exactly. Tell us how bad our opinions are in the comments.
Yeah, please. I'd love
Let's
to be
talk
told.
about it. All right.
All right. Thank you all
Bye.
for watching. Goodbye.